हेलो एवरीवन, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड इवनिंग. जब भी आप देख रहे हो ना, whenever you are looking at or watching this video, on that basis I wish you. And we are studying indirect taxation. Before that, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Nagendra Bhaktha. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. My place is Someshwara, which is near to Agumbe and Hebri, in between Hebri and Agumbe. And the district is Udupi district in Karnataka. If anyone amongst you who are watching from any other state, for that reason I am telling you this is in Karnataka, a very beautiful place. I already told you my name is Nagendra Bhaktha. I am a practicing chartered accountant. My office is in Hebri. I cleared my chartered accountancy by 2021 February, and it's been 3 years now. So February 2024 के लिए it will be 3 years. 2021 1st February 2021 I cleared my CA final examination, and by 2024 it will be 3 years. And I have my own office in Hebri that is also running successfully. And meanwhile it is my hobby that I keep talking to my students. I love students. Why? Because the students have their ideas, the innovative ideas, creative. Nowadays students are very creative, and they upload some reels, all these things in the Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and by looking at that I am sure that they are creative, but only the thing is they don't know where to use the creativity. Don't worry, in indirect tax classes, indirect taxation, we'll be going to discuss about many of the things, many of the provisions, many of the sections in the indirect tax, CGS, especially CGST Act. There we'll be discussing about the government, the provisions, the sections, the circulars, the notifications, and at the same time explanations. All these things we are discussing here. And when it comes to CMA, your syllabus is not so vast. It is an easy syllabus compared to CA syllabus and CS syllabus, Chartered Accountancy syllabus and Company Secretary syllabus. Your syllabus is actually an easy one. So that I hope you understand the concept, and see, you have to sit comfortably and you have to try to understand the concept. And your mobile phone, if you have your mobile phone, this recordings, if it uses internet, then internet is required. But please make sure that your WhatsApp is not working, your Facebook is not working, your Instagram is not working, because indirect tax, GST, is that kind of subject. If you miss out one provision, the other provision also you'll miss out. For that reason, please keep all your distractions aside, and you have only one intention and one purpose in your mind, that is indirect tax. That is crystal clear. So what is required for examination, that you get into your brain and make sure that all other things that will disturb you, it is aside. Especially if you are watching this video on laptop, what is required? A laptop and a notebook. 2 notebooks are required. One is running notebook, the other one is actual notebook, and one institute ka material, CMA institute ka material, intermediate, in that material, group 1 ka paper number 7B. So that we are discussing here. So only these 4 items are required. One is your laptop, second one is your running notes, rough note, and the third one is your actual note, fourth one material, and extra 2-3 things extra, that is 1 pen, 1 pencil, and post-it. What is post-it, sir? Sticky notes. Some small sticky notes you have to prepare, and please make sure that you have that sticky notes, and you have to paste it in the proper places. Wherever I tell you to paste it, there you have to paste it. Make sure that you have all these 4-5 items, and sit in a comfortable position, so that everything that we discuss in the classroom, that goes to your brain. And don't be so comfortable so that you can sleep well. You will plug in your earphone and you listen to my voice and you keep nodding to the voice, and somewhere you don't know where you slip into the sleep. Don't do that. Don't be so comfortable, but be comfortable. It is as comfortable as enough to keep all the provisions and sections in your brain. Basically, from this day, we are going to start with the indirect taxation. So indirect tax, we are starting with the indirect tax. So there are two types of tax. So we will discuss, first of all, we will discuss about some of the general things. Okay, some general things about the taxation. There are two types of tax. One is direct tax, the other one is indirect tax. Correct? Now, direct tax and indirect tax, these are the two type of things. I'll just explain you what is direct tax and what is indirect tax. Okay. See, first one is direct tax. So what is this direct tax, sir? If you ask me, what is this direct tax? This is the tax on your income. Tax on your income. You have already discussed in chapter 7a, sorry, paper 7a, that is direct tax. If you have not studied that, don't worry, you will study it soon. Direct tax is on your income. So if you are earning income, example, for example, I earned my income is to the extent of 7 lakh rupees, sir. My income is 7 lakh rupees. If you know that there are some tax slabs up to 2.5 lakhs. I'm so sorry. क्यों बाबा? क्यों? Okay. Okay, if my income is 2.5 lakhs, 2,50,000, then till 2,50,000 there is zero tax, 0%. More than 2,50,000 till 5 lakh, that means extra 2,50,000 pay. My tax is, how much is my tax? It is 5%. 5% no, which is 12,500 is my tax. 12,500 is my tax. More than 5 lakhs, see, all these two things put together, it is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs. More than 5 lakh, what is my income? I told you my income is 7 lakhs, sir. If my income is 7 lakhs, how much is left? 7 lakh minus 5 lakhs, it is 2 lakhs. So on this 2 lakhs, I have to pay 20%. In old regime, it is 20%. New regime, 115 BAC is there, that you will study in direct tax. So here we are discussing about indirect tax. To know about what is indirect tax, first preliminary things that you should know is what is direct tax. The tax which is paid by the taxpayer himself, the one who is earning income, he has to pay 20% on 2 lakhs is 40,000. है ना? 40,000. Totally how much I have to pay, sir? 52,500. अरे बाप रे, हाँ, 52,500 I have to pay. That 52,500 plus cess of 4%. Correct? No, 4% on 52,500, which I have to pay. So right now, not so important one, but I am telling you, this is direct tax. I am earning income. I have to directly pay to the government. This is direct tax. Again, I have earned some income. I am directly paying it to the government. This is direct tax. Now, what is indirect tax? This is the crux of our subject now. Very, very, very important one is what is indirect tax. Okay, so we will discuss what is indirect tax here. First, let me rub all this rubbish. Not rubbish, but for the time being it is rubbish, no. Rubbish in the sense what you can rub. So what you have to rub, no, that is rubbish. Okay, here listen, there is Mr. A. So this guy, who is this guy? Mr. A. Mr. A went to a shop. He purchased a biscuit packet, a packet of biscuit. Value of this biscuit packet is example 30 rupees. The value of the biscuit packet is 30 rupees. Okay? The value of the biscuit packet is 30 rupees. Now, have you ever seen that 30 rupees, it is written as MRP. Hai na? You have observed this. This is MRP. Below the MRP, have you observed that it is written as inclusive of all taxes? Inclusive of all taxes. Sir, what is this inclusive of all taxes? Inclusive of all taxes is nothing but the indirect tax. Nothing but right now it is GST. GST is included. Now tell me, this 30 rupees includes GST. Why, sir? Because it is written MRP is maximum retail price. MRP stands for maximum retail price. MRP in the bracket it is written as inclusive of all taxes. Sir, all kind of taxes are included. Basically nowadays it is GST, goods and service tax. GST, goods and service tax, the important amongst the indirect tax. Goods and service tax, that is included in this 30 rupees. Now, who is paying this 30 rupees to the shopkeeper? Mr. A will pay this 30 rupees to the shopkeeper. Mr. A will pay 30 rupees to the shopkeeper. That means Mr. A is paying GST also. Hai na bachcho? Mr. A is paying even the GST. He is paying GST also. Now what this shopkeeper will do? He will keep, example, out of this 30 rupees, 27 is the value of the biscuit, 3 rupees is the GST. Think 3 rupees is the GST, inclusive of GST, no? Think 3 rupee is the GST. This 3 rupee will be paid by shopkeeper to the government. That 3 rupees will be paid by shopkeeper to the government. So this is nothing but indirect tax. Now tell me, Mr. A is paying directly to the government, sir? No. Mr. A is not paying this to the government. Who is paying this to the government? Shopkeeper is paying this to the government. To shopkeeper, who paid it? Mr. A paid it. That means Mr. A is not directly paying it to the government. He is indirectly paying this to the government. He is not directly paying it to the government. He is paying indirectly to the government. That's why the name is indirect tax. I hope you are clear with this. So there are two types of taxation. One is direct tax. The second one is indirect tax. Now direct tax, it is paid directly by the income earning group. The income earning group, they are directly paying it to the government. This is called as direct tax. The income earning group, they are purchasing some goods and they are paying it to the shopkeeper. The one who gave the goods, no, I am paying it to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper is paying it to the government on my behalf. Actually, who paid it? I paid it. To whom? Shopkeeper. Now what shopkeeper will do? He will pay it to the government. This is called as indirect tax, not direct tax. So your subject that we are going to discuss now is indirect tax. About this GST, indirect tax, there are many provisions, bachcho, there are many provisions. So we are going to discuss about all these provisions in coming somewhere 60-70 hours. 60-70 hours mein we are going to finish this syllabus. Very important one when it comes to your practical life also. You can start applying this from today. From this day you can start applying this in your life. For that purpose I am telling you, very, very, very important one, this indirect taxation. So now you know why the name indirect tax came. Because it is not directly paid by the taxpayer to the government, it is paid by a customer to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will pay it to the government. Nothing is going from shopkeeper's pocket. I filled shopkeeper's pocket, shopkeeper paid it to the government. So shopkeeper is not losing any amount. Who is losing the amount? It is the customer. I hope this is clear. Now we will go into the actual part here. So we will be discussing with the indirect taxation. So indirect taxation topic that we are discussing, and this is there in your paper number 7 section B. And there are many amendments which has come here, and I tried finding some new syllabus or amended version. I'm not getting amended version here. Don't worry, whenever there is amendments or if there is any statutory updates, don't worry, we are going to cover up that. Okay, in your material which is there with you, which is given by institute, which has no amendments or statutory updates, but not to worry people, when I am here, no fear. Okay, we will discuss about the statutory update whenever it is required, not to worry. Now here, so it is given by Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So you are going to become the cost accountant, and this is the intermediate about the institute is given. I believe that you have already gone through all these initial pages. Vision statement, mission statement. What I loved was the motto of Institute of the Cost Management Accounting. Here, see motto: from the ignorance it leads to the truth. From ignorance lead me to the truth. From darkness lead me to the light. From death lead me to immortality. Peace, peace, peace. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya, om shanti, shanti, shanti. This is the motto. Okay, this is the motto here, which I love the most. Every day we chant this. What we want here is the peace that is required. What peace, sir? Not peace, peace. It is peace. Shantihi. That is what required. A very nice motto. And even when it comes to CNO, we also have some motto. Ya esha supteshu jagrati. So that means the one who is awake amongst those who are asleep. So any institute, Institute of Chartered Accountant, Institute of Cost Accountant, Institute of Company Secretaries, we all have motto and we all are professionals. Usually people say that CA, Chartered Accountant is first priority, second one is CS, third one is CMA. But I say that no. All of us have separate identity and all of us have different importance. We all have importance, people. When it comes to doctor, okay, there is one doctor who is a heart specialist, and there is one more doctor who is nerve specialist. There is one more doctor who is the stomach specialist or bone specialist, blood cancer specialist. See, it depends on the problem where you go. See, I have heart issues. Think, if I have heart issues, if I go to the bone specialist, definitely he will say that I am not the best person for this, please go to the heart specialist. Correct? No. So same thing is applicable even here. If you have some issues with the costing, so a cost accountant plays a major role. If there is some issues with your law related, company related thing, then there is company secretary. If you have some issues with auditing, then there is chartered accountant. None of the courses are low or degraded, less preferred. None of the courses are most preferred. All have its own importance. If you ask me, I keep everything in the same level. Difficulties wise, okay, if you ask me, sir, exam, cracking the exam, it is very difficult in CA. To some extent, I agree. CS, if you have seen the study material of CS, definitely chonk jaoge. Chonk gaye? Haan, yes, chonk gaye, sir. Because the syllabus which is there in CA finals, direct tax and indirect tax, that syllabus is there in their executive level. In case of cost accountant, intermediate level is bit easy, not so easy. It's not as easy as what I say, but it is bit easy compared to other syllabus. But importance wise, all the courses have same importance. There are many students who have not cleared CMA also because the toughness, the level, the standard of question setting, the question paper is to that extent. So don't think that this is too easy one. No, I don't agree with this. Each and every the courses, no, it has their own importance. It is not easy one. I have seen many students who have not cleared CMA also. But please remember that you should have, whenever it comes to professional examination, no, I just remember one song. The song was, I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so confident. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so powerful. Yeah, I win every single game. So I just remember this song. We sing this song in washroom or bathroom while we are, bathing, all these things. But I say that please do listen to understand the lyrics also. That will definitely give you some confidence to move forward. Okay? Yes, being said that, we will start our journey. The intermediate paper number 7, indirect taxation, study notes, syllabus 2022. This is what I said. Somewhere 1 year got over. 2022 बाद में 23 came, now 2024, just we are starting with 2024, but don't worry, whenever there is statutory update, no, we will definitely going to cover up that. ठीक है, we'll cover up that. Institute of Cost Accountants of India, CMA Bhavan 12. So all these things are given, the address is also given, edition is given. Now when it comes to the weightage of this subject, sir, so weightage of this subject is 50 marks, 50%, nothing but it is 50 marks, sir. Yes, it is 50 marks here. In that, so the first one, module number 4, which is talking about the concept of indirect tax, which is 5%. 5% is nothing but 5 marks, sir. 5 marks, yes. The 5 marks for the concept of indirect tax. First, we need to know what is the indirect tax concept. The second one, module number 5 we will be discussing about goods and service tax laws, GST laws, law, not LOSS, LAWS. So GST laws, we are discussing about GST laws, which is of 35 marks. So the weightage is 35 marks, people. And the last one, which is about customs acts and rules, which is talking about 10%, which is 10 marks. Totally put this together, we will get 50 marks. So totally it is for 50 marks. Remember the concept of indirect tax, why indirect tax came earlier, what was there, now what it is. So that is given in the concept of indirect tax. And the second module we are specifically discussing about GST. Earlier there were many set of taxes which are taken out, hata diya gaya. Later they brought only one thing, that is one nation, one tax, GST. So we'll be discussing about GST, and after that Customs Act and rules. So what is this Customs Act and rules? Very important one. When you are, see, this is C, okay, this is C, and this is India, and this is some other country. Whenever you are bringing goods from India on a ship, I'm very bad in drawing, people, I'm so sorry, I'm very bad in drawing. Okay, this is ship, this is ship. Whenever you are bringing goods in the ship to India, whenever you are bringing goods in the ship to India, the goods are entering the Indian territory, then we have to put some duties. Duties are nothing but taxes. So duties are nothing but taxes. These duties are levied by Customs Act, not GST Act, Customs Act. Importing or exporting, sir. I am taking goods outside India. Then also there is some taxes which has to be levied on the goods which is going outside India. This is called as the export duty, which is put by Customs Act. There are rules also, we have to discuss about Customs Act and rules. So that we will keep it at the end. So right now we will be discussing about the concept of indirect taxes and GST laws. So these two things we are discussing now. So weightage, I hope you are clear with the weightage. Weightage 50 marks ke liye, in that 50 marks 5%, 35% and 10%. So that is for 5% is for concept of indirect tax. That means 5 marks, 35 marks is for goods and service tax and 10 marks is for customs act. People, to those who feel that or who find that this one is difficult, sir, which one, direct tax is difficult, then indirect tax is an opportunity to score the marks. To score well, you have to go through the indirect taxes. A very easy subject. I assure you, you definitely understand this, and make sure that you follow me. Don't keep your concentration somewhere here and there. Khajur, listen to me. Don't keep your concentration, or don't let your concentration get diverted to something else. Everything you have to be, those things that will distract you, you have to keep it aside. Only those things that will help you in concentrating on the subject, only that you have to keep in your mind. Okay? Being said that, okay, we'll start now. Learning environment. Here there are some some pages which talks about what should be your goals. I don't go to that directly. We will go to the concept as per the syllabus. See, till 16 pages we have to discuss about the concept of direct tax, indirect tax, and the goods and service tax. That we will be discussing. The majority of your syllabus is goods and service tax. Somewhere 243 pages are there for, see here, 243 pages are for goods and service tax. Only 16 pages is for the concept. 16 pages, 243 is for goods and service tax, and custom rules is from 261 to 329. Somewhere 39 plus 29, 68. Somewhere 68 pages here. So the Customs Act, for 10 marks ke liye you have to study 68 pages, and for 35 marks we have to study 243 pages, and for 5 marks we have to study 16 pages. Usually what students do, they will skip this 5 marks, sir. 5 marks ke liye we have to study 16 pages. But let me tell you, this 5 marks, very easy 5 marks. You are taking that 5 marks in your pocket. Believe me, you are taking that 5 marks in your pocket. Please don't skip this. Please don't skip this. Very easy topic. 5 marks you are taking in pocket. We'll do one thing. First we will discuss about this 16 pages today. In this video we are going to discuss about these 16 pages. Very easy concept. I'll make sure that you will understand word by word. See, sometimes students think that, sir, you are reading the bare act, sir. You are reading the sentences. I'll clarify this now, people. I am reading the sentences. I'll read it. Every sentences I'll read it. Why? Because you should know how to read the law. People, this is indirect tax law. You have to be clear with this. It is not a purely practical subject. This is only 20% is practical, 80% is theory. So that we have to read the sentences. So sometimes students feel that it is bore, sir. So it is boring one, sir. No, people, it is not boring one. The crux is there in the sentences. Each full stop, each comma is also required. So don't think that, sir, it should be an easy one. No, your approach should be different. So I hope this is clear. First we will discuss about these 16 pages. We will make sure that 5 marks is in our pocket. So we have to take 5 marks in the pocket now. So people, fasten your seat belts. We are going to take off. Yes, sir. So section B, indirect taxation. In that, first one, the concept of indirect taxes. Here, this module includes the concept and the feature of indirect tax. Many of the concept of indirect tax we know now already, that Mr. A purchasing goods from a shopkeeper, biscuit from shopkeeper by paying 30 rupees, which includes 3 rupees as the tax. That tax is given to the shopkeeper, so that shopkeeper will pay this to the government on my behalf. So this is indirect tax ka concept, easy concept it is. And what are the features of indirect tax? By already you know one feature now. What is one feature? The burden is on me. Who am I? The one who eats the biscuit packet, biscuits, no? So that person is the consumer. So the burden of paying is on me. But who actually pays to the government? Shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will pay this to the government. The burden is on whom? Burden is on me. So the burden of paying the tax is on me, but actual payer is the shopkeeper. He will pay this to the government. That's why it is indirectly going to the government, not directly. This is one feature. One more feature is pinch, no? This pinch. That nothing but what I can say. The pain of paying tax is not known by the consumer. So now, for example, sir, what is the value of this mouse? What is the value of this mouse? If you ask me, sir, what is the value of this mouse? I say that 700 rupees. 700 rupees is inclusive of tax, no? 700 rupees is inclusive of tax. So that means, example, now 80 rupees is tax, which is imposed on that mouse. 80 rupees is tax, which is imposed and levied on that mouse. That 80 rupees is paid by me. The burden is on me. I am paying 700 rupees, which includes 80 rupees. That 80 rupees is paid by shopkeeper to the government. Burden is on me, but I will not feel that pinch. Pinch in the sense that pain, no, I will not get to know that pain, but actually burden is on me. I don't know that I am paying tax also. See, you are the student, correct, no? You will purchase pen, pencil, everything. You will purchase pen and pencil, and you know that whatever you are paying, no, that includes tax. That includes tax. You are paying it to that person. That person is paying it to the government. That includes tax. Tax is included in that. Keep this in your mind. Next one, difference between direct tax and indirect tax. So that we have to know. Many of the differences we already know now. Direct tax and indirect tax. Name itself says direct tax is directly paid by the income earner to the government, but indirect tax is not directly paid by the customer to the government, but customer will pay this to the shopkeeper, shopkeeper will pay this to the government. So this is about indirect tax. Okay, so this is basic difference. What are the exact differences we will discuss in the coming pages. Next one, background of erstwhile indirect taxes. Earlier, what was indirect tax? What are the kinds of indirect tax? What were the taxes which were levied? But right now, what is the indirect tax? GST. So that we are going to discuss now. And constitutional validity of GST, not so important one. People, if you have to ignore, you can ignore this one. So not very important one, but required. Constitutional validity of GST. So more a kind, it is about history. It is talking about history. I'm so sorry. History of GST. It is talking about the history of GST. So don't worry. It is not so important for your examination point of view. I'll tell you. So this is more of a kind your homework. This is homework, somewhere 1 or 2 pages which is there, no? That will be your homework. Homework in the sense you just have to go on reading that just like a storybook. Okay. Yes. Now this module includes all these concepts. We will discuss one by one. Easy concept, people. Easy one. Now the concept of indirect taxes. Before going to indirect taxes, here that is LOB. What is LOB? Subject wise learning objectives. So what is the learning? Subject learning objective. This is module learning objective. MLOB. So this is MLOB. This is module learning objective. This is subject learning objective. Okay. This is module learning objective and subject learning objective. Here, to acquire the knowledge of legal provisions enriched in law relating to the GST and custom duty and appreciate their applicability in the business operations. See, what is the objective? Subject learning objective. Why we have to study this subject? Because what are the legal provisions of GST and how it can be applied in our business. For that purpose, we need to know what is this indirect tax. subject learning objective. One more, to gather understanding of legal provisions of the said two indirect tax laws about the matters of compliance while conducting the business operation. Now the question is, sir, what are these two? Where is two, sir? One is GST, first one is GST, and the second one is customs. First one is GST and second one is customs. These are the two indirect tax laws that we are studying in this syllabus. One is GST, the second one is customs. So these two things we have to discuss. Okay. Yes. And module, in this module, specifically module 4 mein what we are discussing, only the concept. Appreciate the difference between direct tax and indirect taxes and understand the problem in the erstwhile indirect taxes. Earlier, what was the problem? What problem was there in the earlier days, and that problem, just to mitigate or just to solve that problem, we have indirect tax now. This is GST. So that we have to, this very important one, people don't skip these 2 points, difference between direct tax and indirect tax. And the second one, understand the problem which was there in the earlier indirect tax system, which is not there now. So this is the module learning objective, and this one is subject learning objective. See, same thing given even here. See, where is that? Kahan gaya? Here. See, this is subject learning objective, SLOB. Okay, this is subject learning objective, to acquire the knowledge and to gather the understanding. Same thing given even here. Where it is? Here. To acquire the knowledge and to gather the understanding. Easy one? Yes. Here, next page says that concept 4, introduction. Listen, let's talk about something very general one. General topic, not so general one, but some general topic. Now, see that this is my house, okay? This is my house. Now, I have to come to Bangalore. I am in Bangalore. My place is in Udupi. And this is Bangalore. Bangalore mein Ramesh sir's classes. Ramesh Academy classes. I have to come here by, I'll take a bus. It looks like a lorry. I'm so sorry. I'm very bad in drawing, that you already know. I'll take a bus and I'll come to this place, Ramesh sir's classes. Now, do you think I will build this road? No, this road is built by whom? Government. That means there should be a government. Government will build the road. There is toll, which is here, no? There is one toll. They will collect the toll charges, and at the same time there is some government hospitals. Correct, no? So there will be some government hospitals. Okay. There is government hospitals. There, all the expenses are borne by the government. Now there are some Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan. There are some schools here. Correct, no? Schools are built by the government. Especially not private institutions. I am talking about government schools. Sarkari Hiriya Prathamika Shali. So that is government schools. So which is built by the government, and all the expenses which will be incurred in that schools, hospitals, or road maintenance of that road, everything is borne by government, no? Now the question is, the government has to pay for all these activities. Now, government should have some income, no? To pay the amount, government should have some income. Okay. Kahan se aayega income to the government? Via here. The government will get income through 2 sources. One is direct tax. The other one is indirect tax. Okay. One is direct tax. The second one is indirect tax. Government will get this income through 2 sources. One is direct tax and the second one is indirect tax. Very easy one. So remember that government is going to give you all the facilities, road, bridges, canals, and the government hospitals, government institutions, medical institutions. All these things are given by the government. Government has to pay for it. Police department is there. The assembly is there, parliament is there, law tribunals are there, courts are there, judges are there. So how to bear these expenses? Government needs some income. No, there are two kinds of income that government is looking for. One is, I'm so sorry. Okay, one is direct, the other one is indirect. Now direct tax, which is covered in 7A. Now we have to discuss about 7B, no? So that is the preliminary which is given here. So if you see this, some preliminary concept, introduction says that it was only for the good of his subjects, that he collected tax from them, just as the sun draws moisture from the earth to give it back to the thousandfolds. Correct, no? Sun, see, very beautifully given by Kalidas. What Kalidas says, the king will take the amount from the republic, and he will give it in manifolds. Manifolds in the sense, in huge lump sum, and in some benefits are given by the king to the people in his kingdom. So what is this? This is nothing but a kind of tax which is collected. So just like sun, who will suck all the moisture from the earth and it will give it in the manifold in form of rain. A beautiful line. Same thing will be applied in taxation too. In a welfare state, the government takes primary responsibility for the welfare of its citizen as a matter of the healthcare, education, employment, infrastructure, social security, other developmental needs. Just we discussed, no? So we discussed about this here. The government is giving all these facilities to whom, sir? To all of us. So in that case, to facilitate this, government needs revenue. Government को revenue चाहिए. Taxation is the primary source of revenue to the government for incurring such public welfare expenditure. In other words, the government is taking taxes from the public through its one hand, and through another hand it incurs welfare expenditure for the public at large. So this is just what we discussed. So we will collect the money and we will give it to the public. This is government. Government is collecting money in the form of tax and it is giving it to the public. Public के लिए it is distributed in many forms in the form of welfare. However, no one enjoys handing over the hard-earned money. So if I ask you, simply you have to pay me 500 rupees. Every month you have to pay me 500. Will you be able to pay that, or will you agree with this? Definitely you don't agree with this. Correct? No, you are not agreeing with this. Why you don't agree with this, sir? It is my hard-earned money. Why I have to give it to you free of cost or simply? I don't give it to you simply. So we don't enjoy that hard-earned money to the government to pay taxes. No, we don't agree with this. So thus taxes are compulsory or enforced contribution by the government revenue by the public. So we are enforced. It is compulsory. Arey baapre. Sir, direct tax and indirect tax, these two sources which are there, no? Is it compulsory, sir? Yes, Baba. It is compulsory. Direct and indirect, no? It is compulsory. It is compulsory. Even if you don't wish to, even then you have to pay. You must pay to the government even if you don't wish to pay for it. So this is compulsory. Okay, this is compulsory one. Continue. So the government may levy taxes on income, business profits or wealth, or add it to the cost of some goods, services and transactions. So very important one. The government may levy the taxes on income, profits or wealth, or add it to the cost of some goods. Nothing but see, on income it is DI. What is DI? Sorry, DT, direct tax. On business profit, again direct tax. On wealth, again direct tax. Or it may add it to the cost of the goods. This is indirect tax, IDT. This is indirect tax. Cost of the goods. I told you about the biscuit packet, no? I purchased it for 30 rupees. That includes 3 rupees GST. That is indirect tax. As simple as that. Agreeing with this? Following this, no? Yes, sir. So services and transitions. So these are some introduction. going forward, basic reason to impose the taxation. Why we have to impose some tax? So why imposing the taxation is mandatory? First one, to provide basic facilities for every citizens of the country. Basic facility. What do you think it is the basic facility? Land. Land is the basic facility. That means a place to stay. That is the basic facility. Municipality. And many government services such as drainage, water, electricity, correct? No, everything are basic things they are giving you. For that reason you have to pay tax. Road, education, infrastructure which are given to you, it is free of cost. See, if you don't pay tax, then it is free of cost. That's why government says that you have to pay to us. So otherwise we don't allow you to enjoy all these things. जा रहा है दिमाग में? You are understanding this? Yes, everyone. So whatever money is received by the government from the taxation is spent by it for the welfare of the citizens of the country. So some of the services provided by the government are healthcare, electricity, roads, education system, free houses for the poor, water supply, police, firefighters, judiciary system, disaster relief, taking care of the bridges and other things of the public welfare. Correct? No? So why we have to pay tax? First one is basic facility. See, if government don't give the road, see this is road example. If government is not giving this road, then do you think you build the road or me? I'll build you the road. What is the cost of building the road? It is in crores. Where is crores with me? So I cannot build the road and I don't make any partnership with the people. I cannot build the road. So in that case, what is required? So some government, there should be one institution who will take care of this. So that is required. This is nothing but the one amongst the reason. The second reason is that to finance multiple governments. See, now central government is taking care of many state governments. Central government is taking care of many state governments. Now see, we say that Karnataka government is independent, but for some reason they have to depend on the central government also. Very much required. For that purpose, central government is also giving money to the state governments. So all the local governments of the states like village panchayat, block panchayat, municipal corporation services, funds from the finance commission. Finance commission is in the center. They are providing these services to these people. Getting this? Next one, protection of life. Taxpayer receives the protection of life and wealth from the government in the case of external aggressions, internal armed rebellions or any other situation. See, nowadays we are looking at the communal violence which is happening. So communal violence is there. At the same time, there are some crimes which are going on, rape cases which are going on, murders which are going on. So in that case, who is giving us the protection? It is police force who are giving us the protection. For that purpose, we have to pay some amount as the tax so that they will get all these things. Okay, so they will get the money and they will get the salary so that they can protect us. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Okay. So this is about some of the basic reasons to impose the taxation. When we go forward, no, administration of the taxes, we already know that. See, look at this. See, there are direct taxes and indirect tax. Direct tax and indirect tax. These are the revenue, the sources of revenue to the department. This is the sources of revenue to the department. So here, Central Board of Direct Tax and Central Board of Indirect Tax. These are the two things which are there. CBDT and CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, Central Board of Direct Tax. So they are looking after at the direct tax. They look at the indirect tax, IDT, direct tax and indirect taxes. Clear? Direct tax is also there, indirect tax is also there. Now the Department of Revenue, this is Department of Revenue, and finally that amount goes to Ministry of Finance. So Ministry of Finance will take care of direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax, all the provisions related to direct tax is given in CBDT, Central Board of Direct Tax and Direct Tax. And anything related to indirect tax and customs, GST and customs, which is given in Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. People, as and when I tell you, no, please do make note of it. The things that you write in your own handwriting, no, that will be there in your brain for a long period of time. For that purpose, I am telling you, please do keep this in your mind. Make a note of it. Keep a running note. Write it on some post-it and put the important point on that page. So what you can do, no, one post-it may take one sticky note. Write why. So here, why we need indirect tax, or why we need taxation system. Why we need taxation? Because of all these reasons. So sticky note mein, in that sticky note, first point is why taxation, and the second point is what are the reasons. Reason number 1, basic facility. Reason number 2, multiple government, finance the government. Reason number 3, protection of the life. So you can make a mnemonics also. Use your creativity here, not in Instagram. Don't use that creativity in Instagram. Use your creativity here. Okay. To provide the basic facility, you can write it as B. Basic facility. Next one, multiple government, M. Or you can write it as G. Wait. G, BG, G for government, multiple governments, and next one is BGP, not BJP, BGP. BGP it is. First one is to provide the basic necessaries, basic things to the people. Next one, G for multiple governments, P for protection of life. So BGP, not BJP, BGP. So administration of tax may, we know that CBDT is there. See, both of the boards have been constituted under the Central Board of Revenues Act 1963. Both the boards, which are boards, CBDT and CBIC. We know that what is CBDT now? Central Board of Direct Tax, which will look after your paper number 7A. Paper 7A, it is about CBDT, and now here paper number 7B is CBIC. So CBDT deals with the levy and collection of all direct tax, whether matters relating to levy and collection of central indirect tax are dealt by the CBIC. See, direct tax, CBDT, indirect tax and customs by CBIC. We know this, right? Yes, no, hai na people? Don't get distracted. Everyone, don't get distracted. Here, listen to me very carefully, and I am giving you some mnemonics also, so that you can easily remember this. 5 marks is in your pocket. So pocket में 5 marks को लेकर जाओगे. 5 marks in your pocket. So that tax points. So tax points में what we discussed in tax points. So both the boards are constituted under the Board of Revenue. So Board of Revenue, in that 2 boards, one is CBDT, and the second one is CBIC, Central Board of Direct Tax and Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. This is for direct tax, and this one is for IDT. Everyone clear? Board of Revenue, CBDT, CBIC. This is for direct tax, this is for indirect tax. I hope this is clear. Shall I go ahead? Yes. Next one. Now, the concept and features of indirect tax. Very important one. So here, in this page, we discussed about what is tax, why we need tax, and what are the 2 branches, taxonomy. What are the 2 branches of the taxation? One is CBDT, other one is CBIC. CBDT that you have already discussed, or you might in future you will discuss in section paper number 7A. 7B is about indirect tax, that we are discussing here. The concept and features of indirect tax. Believe me, trust me people, very easy one. We will make some mnemonics and we will understand it better. Okay? Yes. Tax on goods and services. See, indirect tax is not on your income. Direct tax is on your income, wealth and profits. Direct tax is on your income, wealth and profit. Here indirect tax is on goods. That's why the important one is GST. GST, goods and services. So indirect tax is levied at the time of supply. Very important one. The word is supply. There is separate section number 7 for this supply. We will discuss about that section number 7 in detail. So goods, the tax, indirect tax is on supply or manufacture or purchase or sale or import or export of the goods. Supply, manufacture, sale, purchase, import, export of the goods may, if there is any tax, goods or services may, if there is any tax, that is indirect tax. Further, it is also levied on supply. If it is supply only, then GST. If it is not supply, then there is no GST. Remember, if it is supply, then there is GST. Then you can find GST. Otherwise, there is no GST. If it is not supply, there is no GST. If it is supply, then GST. Sir, what is the meaning of this supply? We will discuss later. Right now, on supply, remember the word supply. Supply makes the crux here. Supply. If it is supply of goods or services, then there is GST. If there is no supply, then there is no GST. Then there is no tax. Next one, burden. So on whom there is burden? Right now, we discussed about one biscuit packet, packet. I purchased biscuit packet from the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will collect the tax and he will pay it to the government. Now you tell me, who paid this tax? Me or the shopkeeper? Actually, on whom the burden is? On me. I am the consumer. Consumer has the burden, but paid by the shopkeeper. Paid by shopkeeper. Burden is on consumer. Tax being, okay, here. Tax being indirect tax, paid by the seller. Seller is paying, shopkeeper, seller is paying, shall be recovered by the seller from buyer. He will recover it from me. So, he will be recovering it from me. Thus, one can say that burden of indirect tax is shifted from seller to the buyer and ultimately borne by the consumer of such goods or services. So, burden is on buyer. Ultimately, buyer who is paying that and it is recovered. See, seller has to pay to the government, but he will recover it from buyer. From me, he will recover that. So, that's why, see, being the indirect tax is recovered by the seller from the buyer. Thus, one can say that burden of indirect tax is shifted from the seller to the buyer. Buyer will pay that amount and seller will collect that amount from the buyer and he will pay to the government. Who has the burden, sir? Buyer. Consumer has the burden. Final consumer has the burden. Remember, burden is on final consumer. Final consumer has the burden. Next one, it is inflationary in nature. It is inflationary in nature. I for inflationary in nature. Cost of goods and services increase due to levy of indirect tax. You remember our biscuit packet ka example. What has happened in biscuit packet? See, this is something wrong here. Wait. Okay. There is Mr. A. No. This guy is Mr. A. He purchased a biscuit packet from a shopkeeper. And what was the price? Actual value was 27 rupees. And he added 3 rupees as the GST. Totally 30 rupees. So this is GST ka component. This is value. This is called, we call it as value of supply. So this is the value. So 27 rupees is the value of the biscuit packet. Including profit, 27 rupees is the value. But what is this 3 rupees, sir? This is GST. Totally 30 rupees is paid by Mr. A. Now remember, if there was no GST, then how much would have been collected by the shopkeeper? 27, no. Because of GST, 3 rupees got increased. Because of GST, this 3 rupees got increased. That means what has happened here? Inflationary. It is inflationary. It will inflate the value of the goods. That is given here. The cost of goods and services increases due to levy of indirect tax. Thus, indirect tax promotes inflation. Indirect tax gives the inflation here. Very important one, I. It is inflationary. Next one, social welfare. We already know that the government, social welfare, S. Social welfare, the government collects tax from us, but for what purpose, sir? They will collect tax from us and they will use it for some social welfare activities. It is useful tool to promote the social welfare by checking the consumption of harmful goods or sin goods through the higher rate of tax. See, there are two important points here. One is it increases the social welfare. How it will increase the social welfare? By collecting the tax and by using it on required activities, social activities. It will use it for social activities, or it will put extra tax on socially ill goods or sin goods, harmful goods. Which are harmful goods, sir? Cigarettes. Cigarette is harmful goods. Alcohol, that is harmful goods. On that there is extra tax. On extra tax, by putting extra tax on that, it will maintain the social welfare. And indirect tax has wider tax base, W. Wider tax base. So here, why I am writing this GBISW? What is this GBISW? G for goods and services, on goods and services. B for burden. I for inflationary in nature. S for social welfare. W for wider tax base. So remember this, wider tax base. Majority of the goods and services are leviable to indirect tax with very low threshold limits. So tax base is much wider in case of indirect tax in compared to direct tax. So you name the goods, on all these goods there is tax. You name the goods, on that goods there is tax. So that means wider tax base. Sir, there are some goods on which the tax is little less. So which are the goods on which tax is not there or less? Daily essentials, basic goods such as rice, wheat, rice flour, wheat flour. On this there is no tax, provided you are purchasing it on loose. What is loose purchases? Nothing but you are purchasing it in 1 kilo cover, plastic cover, 1 kilo, 4 kilos, 5 kilos, like this. If you are purchasing in a sealed packet, 10 kilo ka bag. So if you are purchasing it in 10 kilo bag, then there is GST on rice. So basically what we are discussing here, wider tax base. You name the goods, on all these goods there is tax. Okay? Next one, regressive in nature. The tax which is there, no, that is regressive in nature. Now what is the meaning of regressive? There are two kinds here, progressive and regressive. Progressive and regressive. Wait, I'll just rub all this rubbish here. I'm so sorry, what is the meaning of rubbish, people? So those things which you can rub, no, that is called as rubbish. If I am talking anything wrong, please pardon. It is not, it's just to make you remember the things better, not to hurt anyone's sentiment here. I'm so sorry. This is the disclaimer. In the classroom, I go on giving some examples. These examples and politics, I might be talking about the politics also. I make sure that I talk very less about the politics. If I talk something, it is a general statement. I'm not talking about any of the parties here, any religion, any party, any cricket team. I'm not talking about any of this. I'm not directly targeting any parties, cricket team, or any the religion. It is a disclaimer. If I talk something like that, please do forgive me. Okay. I don't talk. I'll make sure that I don't talk. I don't touch these kind of things. Regressive in nature. Direct tax. See, we already discussed, there is direct tax, DT, and indirect tax. So direct tax and indirect tax. Now direct tax, it is progressive in nature. So what is progressive, sir? Progressive, if your income is more, so those who have already know about indirect tax, no, you know this. If your income is more, then the tax is also high. Correct? No, you remember the tax slabs? First 2.5 lakhs 0, next 2.5 lakhs, next 2.5 lakhs 5%, next 5 lakhs, old regime, I'm talking about old regime, next 5 lakhs it is 20%, and more than, okay, after that it is 30%. That means 0 to 2.5 lakhs, I'm talking about direct tax, not indirect tax. I'm not talking about indirect tax now, direct tax का slabs 0 to 2.5 lakhs, it is 0%. More than 2.5 but less than 5 lakhs, it is 5%. Next, more than 5 lakhs but less than or equal to 10 lakhs, it is 20%, and more than 10 lakhs, it is 30%. This is the tax slab. See, sir, my income is 1.5 lakhs per annum. My income every month I am getting 12,000 as my salary, and if I am getting 12,000 as the salary, kitna hua? 20,000, 1 lakh 20,000, 1 lakh 30, 1 lakh 40, 1 lakh 44,000, 1 lakh 44,000, which is less than 1.5 lakhs, or somewhere 2.5 lakhs ki kam hai na ye. So in that case, my tax is 0. I don't have to pay any tax. If my income, if I progress, see, I see some progress, my income increased to more than 2,50,000, then I have to pay 5% on additional income. Whatever I am getting more than 2.5 lakhs, no, on that I have to pay 5%. If I progress, then tax slab is also more. See, as and when my income is increasing, tax is also increasing. This is called as progressive taxation. Now, what is regressive taxation? So this is DT is progressive taxation. Now we have to discuss about regressive taxation. What is regressive taxation? Very easy one. Whatever your income is, no matter whether you are rich or poor, whether you are from backward caste or forward caste, if you belong to general category, OBC category, special category, you are minority, you are Muslim, you are Hindu, you are Christian, doesn't matter, you have to pay that. Regressive. Your income is 0, sir. Even a beggar, he has no income. Even a beggar, if he is purchasing the biscuit packet, that 30 rupees ka biscuit packet, that includes tax, no? He has to pay that tax. Regressive. No matter whether you have good income, you have no income, you have income, you are ultra rich, pro max, or you are belong to any community, you are special caste, you are special tribe, nothing, no advantage, you have to pay that. This is called as regressive taxation. Progressive and regressive. So this is indirect tax, IDT. Whether you are any, for that matter, that doesn't mean that you are not required to pay any taxes. You have to pay taxes no matter what you are doing. This is indirect tax. Direct tax and indirect tax may regressive. See, all person, rich or poor, will bear equal wrath of the tax on goods or services consumed by them, irrespective of their ability. In other words, indirect tax does not create any differences between rich and poor. Poor people are also required to pay equal percentage of the taxes on certain goods and or services of mass consumption. Thus, it may increase the disparities between the rich and poor. See, direct tax will increase the disparity between, indirect tax will increase the differences between rich and poor, but direct tax will try to manage that. Those who are rich, no, more tax. Those who are poor, less tax. This is in case of direct tax. If you are rich or poor, same kind of tax, that is indirect tax. So this is about regressive, R. This is about regressive. And finally, no pinch, P. So no pinch here. Seller does not receive a direct pinch of tax as it is recovered by him from the buyer and then he is paying to the government. So it is actually recovered by the seller to the from the buyer. Seller does not perceive a direct pinch of the tax. So he will collect and he will pay. On other hand, since it is inbuilt in the price of the goods, remember MRP, we discussed in the beginning of the class that MRP, it is inclusive. It is inclusive of all taxes. It is inclusive of all taxes. So this is MRP, inclusive of all taxes. So that is the ultimate payer, which is buyer, pay it without knowing that he is paying any tax to the government. You will not get to know the pinch. You don't even feel that pinch. You don't feel the pain, but there is pinch. So this is indirect tax. This is the power of indirect tax. So these are all the features, important features, which is GBI, SWRP. Can we make a sentence with this? GBI, I'm sorry, here. GBI, SWRP. Yeah, so we can do some with this. Sir's BP is GW. So like this, I used to remember this. S for social welfare, inflation, and R for that regressive. R for regressive, B for basic necessary. So basic necessary, no, burden. B for burden, P for pinch, G for goods and services, W for welfare. Okay, Sir BP GW. Nagendra sir's BP, blood pressure, is GW. I don't know. So in BP mein it is something called as GW, which has come. Sir's BP is GW. So these are the feature of indirect tax. People just remember what is the feature of indirect tax. Sir BP GW. S for social welfare, I for inflation, R for regressive, B for burden, P for pinch, G for goods and services, W for welfare. These 7 things, very easy one. Aram se, people, make sure that you remember this, so that easy say easy. So what we have discussed so far, sir, since 1 hour, past 1 hour mein we discussed that why tax is required. Why tax is required? BGP. What is BGP? One is basic facility, to give the basic facility, and the second one, G for the government, funding the government, BGP, P for protection of life. That is the importance of tax. For that matter, any tax. Tax can be direct tax or indirect tax. That we discussed, BGP, and Sir's BP is GW. What is Sir BP is GW? S for social welfare, I for inflationary, R for regressive, B for burden, P for pinch, G for goods and services, W for welfare. These are the 7 things you have to remember. Yes? Super. Okay. So this is about the concept and features of indirect tax mein. Next one is the difference between direct and indirect tax. So we discussed that. So remember here, kaha learning objective mein module, learning objective is difference between direct and indirect tax and the problems in the earlier indirect tax regime. So we need to remember the concept and features plus difference between direct and indirect tax. Don't skip this. Please don't skip this because 5 marks के लिए पक्का जरूरी में आएगा ही आएगा. Okay, here difference between direct tax and indirect tax. People, we know already what is direct tax, directly paid by the taxpayer to the government, that is direct tax. What is indirect tax? The pinch is not felt by the consumer, but consumer is paying to the seller, seller will pay to the government, indirectly it is going to the government. This is indirect tax. Acha. So there are two types of taxes, direct tax and indirect tax, tax of which incidence and impact fall on the same person. That is direct tax. Incidence is also me, impact, I have to pay this to the government. Impact is also on me. This is direct tax. On other hand, tax of which incidence and impact fall on two different persons is known as indirect tax, such as GST, etc. GST, customs, on all these things, no, the impact is on someone else, but burden is on someone. Two people. Taxpayer has the burden, but impact is on seller. Seller has to collect and pay this to the government. This is indirect tax. It means the cases of direct tax, tax is recovered directly from the assessee, who ultimately bears such taxes, whereas in case of indirect tax, tax is recovered from the assessee, who passes such burden to another person and is ultimately borne by the consumers of such goods or services. Ultimately borne by the consumer of such goods or services. Okay, this you have to remember. Okay, everyone? Okay, I hope this is clear. Now we will discuss direct tax and indirect tax in the points here. See, direct tax may incidence and impact fall on the same person. We discussed already, incident and impact fall on two different persons. Assessee himself bears such taxes, thus it pinches the taxpayer. Assessee himself, he will bear the tax, so it will pinch himself, thus it pinches the taxpayers. Tax is recovered from the assessee, who passes such burden to another person. So burden will be passed to some other person. Next, here it is levied on income, but this is levied on goods and services. Thus this type of tax leads to the inflation and have the wider base. So wide base is there. Here example income tax, but here example GST, custom duty, etc. So here this example is income tax, but here it is custom duty and GST. And this is progressive in nature. What is progressive given here? See, high income, high tax, low income, low tax or nil tax. So this is progressive in nature, but here it is regressive in nature. See, all person high or low income pay this tax on the consumption of the goods and services. No matter whether you belong to high income group or low income group, you have to pay this to the government. So this is regressive in nature. Useful tool to promote the social welfare by checking the consumption of the harmful goods or sin goods through the higher rate of tax, that we already discussed. On such harmful goods such as cigarette, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, all these are harmful goods on which there will be more tax. I hope this is clear. AB1, progressive and regressive in nature, that we already discussed. Now look at the difference here. Again, same difference, I am not going to go in detail. We have already discussed about this. The meaning wise, look at the meaning. Direct tax is referred to as the tax levied on the person's income and wealth, but here this is on goods and services. Indirect tax is on goods and services and paid indirectly to the government, not directly by the consumer itself, indirectly to the government by the taxpayer. Next one, nature. It is progressive, here it is regressive in nature. We know this, I don't think we have to discuss this again. Incidence and impact will be on one person, falls on the same person. The one who has revenue or income, he has to pay this to the government. This is incidence. Next one, falls on different person. It will fall on different person. I purchase the goods, the incidence is on me, burden to pay that is on another person, responsibility is on another person. Example, income tax, GST. Tax evasion is possible, where in case of direct tax, tax evasion is possible. I don't show my income only, tax evasion is possible, but indirect tax, tax evasion is hardly possible. Why? Because while paying 30 rupees to the biscuit packet, that 3 rupees is included, no? That means evasion is hardly possible, not possible. Next one, it leads to which one? The cost of the goods and services increases. That's why it leads to inflation, but direct tax helps in reducing the inflation. It will reduce the inflation, it will not increase. Next one, imposition and collection. So imposed on and collected from the same person, but in case of indirect tax, imposed on consumer, collected from the seller. See, imposed on and collected from the consumer, consumers of goods and services, but paid and deposited by the SSE. It is paid and deposited by the SSE here. I hope this is clear. ठीक है? Yes, बच्चों. I'm so sorry. हाँ. Next one, burden. You cannot shift the burden in case of direct tax. That means if you are earning income, you have to pay the tax. You cannot shift the burden. But in case of this, no, the indirect tax may, you can shift the burden, can be shifted. That means I purchase some goods and I purchase some goods. On this goods, no, I already paid the GST. I already paid the GST, and later I will sell this to someone, I will collect the GST. So what has happened here? The goods GST which I have paid, no, that I will collect from another person. Getting this? So that is nothing but I have shifted, I did shift the burden to another person. I'll give you one example, very clear example, people. You just have to remember this. 100% attention here. Don't go here and there. Don't get distracted by anything. For next 5 to 10 minutes, you should be with me. You should be with me. So here it is. See, there is one person. This person, no, example, Mr. Pushpa. Mr. Pushpa. This guy is Mr. Pushpa. Okay, Mr. Pushpa. झुकेगा नहीं sir, झुकेगा नहीं, Mr. Pushpa. What is this, sir? This is his daddy. Okay, Mr. Pushpa. Pushpa, he purchased some goods. He purchased some goods. Example, a TV. He purchased TV which is made up of sandalwood. Okay, yeah, that's people, just an example. Example is so this is which is made up of wood. So he has done, he purchased a TV which is made up of wood, and he paid what he paid to the shopkeeper. The name of the shopkeeper is Rocky. Name of the shopkeeper is Rocky, and he also, this is Rocky Bhai. You know that I am very bad in drawing. If there are any fans of Rocky Bhai, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Okay. This is Pushpa purchased some wooden tree, sandalwood ka tree from Rocky Bhai. Okay. What he paid, sir, as the payment, no, he paid 20,000 as the value. Value is 20,000 rupees, and GST which is paid on this is 2,000. 2,000. Okay, we'll do one thing. I'll just change it because I don't have space there, no. We'll make one thing. So the Pushpa has purchased the goods. Pushpa did purchase the goods. No, ulta again. Yeah. Rocky purchased the goods and Rocky paid. Rocky paid because makes sense, no. Pushpa is good in all these things. Correct, na? Pushpa is good in all these things. Pushpa made a TV which is of sandalwood, and gave this to Rocky Bhai. Both are criminals. Both are criminals. I don't know why we students or the general citizens, what we are doing, we are giving importance. We are giving importance to film Pushpa and KGF, but these two guys are criminals in that film. Correct? No, he went on killing people, and this person is good in smuggling, all these things. But we follow these guys. People, whatever you follow, no, make sure that it is good for the society. Only then you follow. Otherwise, please don't follow all these guys. And nowadays, new film has come, which is Animal film. You know what I have done? I did ban these kind of films. So if I get to know that the films are done in this way, then definitely I don't watch it. I did watch KGF 1, but KGF 2, I watched it in not in theater, but in that Amazon Prime. There I purchased it. I watched this, and that too not in one go, in 3 or 4 days. Okay, Animal, I decide that I don't watch that film. It is torturing someone. One is Animal, Rocky, that KGF, Pushpa, and one more film that was Arjun Reddy. These films, no, these are just to manipulate the students. And nowadays, if there is one person who is hero, what kind of hero that they are projecting? The hero is full of beard and he has some hairstyle, crooked mindset, criminals. These are the heroes nowadays. And please don't take them as your role model. Please don't take them as your role model. There are some heroes. The heroes are some people, the sacrifice, they sacrifice their life for the country. In my case, to me, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he is one hero. And to some extent, Narendra Modi ji is also a kind of hero. And Manmohan Singh ji, Dr. Manmohan Singh, he is also a kind of hero. And those people, the armies, they are working now, they are actual heroes. These guys are not heroes. The film ke liye, to make money, these guys are heroes. So I don't take them as hero. Anyways, especially these characters, definitely no. Anyways, 20,000 rupees paid by Rocky to Pushpa with 2,000 as the GST. So totally he paid how much? 22,000. It's not working. 22,000. Arey babre. कुछ हो रहा है यहाँ. Yes, totally Rocky Bhai paid 22,000. Rocky Bhai paid 22,000. People, concentration, 100% concentration should be here. Rocky Bhai paid how much? 22,000. 20,000 plus 2,000 as the GST. He paid 22,000 rupees. Now, Rocky Bhai sold this to Ranbir Kapoor. Again, an animal hero of Animal, but he only claims that he is Animal. So I am not against any heroes here. I am against their ideas. Ranbir Kapoor sold this to Ranbir Kapoor with full beard, hairstyle, again the same thing. Okay, these guys are heroes. Rocky Bhai sold this for how much? The same goods. He sold this for 40,000 rupees. He sold this for 40,000 rupees and he did collect 4,000 rupees. Totally 44,000. You know that GST, there are actually 4 kinds of GST. One is CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST. What is CGST? Central Goods and Service Tax. Okay, here. CGST, SGST, IGST and UTGST. What is CGST, sir? Central Goods and Service Tax. SGST, State Goods and Service Tax. IGST, Integrated Goods and Service Tax. UTGST, Union Territory Goods and Service Tax. So these are the types here. When do we apply CGST and SGST? whenever you are selling inside the state, intra-state, a person from Karnataka selling to a person from Karnataka, this is intra-state supply. In that case, we will apply CGST and SGST, intra-state supply. If I am selling to a person who is outside the state, one person in Karnataka selling goods to the person in Kerala, then we will apply IGST. One person in UTGST selling the goods to another person in the same, a person in Union Territory selling to a person who is residing in same Union Territory, then CGST plus UTGST, CGST and UTGST, not SGST, because it is Union Territory. A person in one Union Territory selling to a person in another Union Territory, then it is IGST, not UTGST. Another Union Territory, it is IGST, not UTGST. Again, people make a note of it. I'll come back to this point again. I'll come back to this example again. Before that, you need to know about these two things here. Listen. State 1, State 2. And UT, UT1, UT2, okay, UT1, UT2. Please do remember this. Person A to person B. What do we apply now? Here, if there is transaction between A and B, then we will put IGST. We will put IGST. We will put IGST. A to B, it is IGST because two different state. Okay. Now A is selling to C. Here also IGST. A is selling to C. Here also IGST. Now C is selling to D. Here also IGST. See, if two states are involved or two union territories are involved or one state and one union territory, then in all these cases IGST. Remember, in all these cases IGST. See, one state to another state IGST. One state to one union territory IGST. One union territory to another union territory IGST. Then when CGST, SGST is applicable, sir? I'll tell you. Example here. State 1. There are two persons in state 1, Mr. A and Mr. B. So in this case, CGST and SGST is applicable. CGST and SGST is applicable. Now union territory. So there is one union territory, and in this union territory there is person A and he is selling the goods to person B, sir. In this case, sir, here CGST and UTGST is applicable. If any transaction between S1 to UT from one state to another union territory, in this case, sir, IGST is applicable. IGST is applicable. So this is about CGST, SGST, UTGST and IGST. I hope this is clear. Make sure that these two diagrams are very much clear in your brain, in your mind. S1 to S2, IGST. S1 to UT1, IGST. UT1 to UT2, IGST. S1 to S1, CGST, SGST. S2 to S2, CGST, SGST. UT1 to UT1, CGST, UTGST. CGST, UTGST. UT1 to UT1. UT1 to UT2. A person in UT1 to a person in UT2. It is SGST, IGST. Again, people, this one point, please make sure you know about this. A person in S1 is selling to a person in S2. IGST is applicable. State 1 to state 2, IGST is applicable. State 1 to UT1. A person in State 1 selling goods to a person in UT1. IGST is applicable. A person in State 1 selling to a person in UT2. IGST is applicable. A person in UT1 selling to a person in UT2. IGST is applicable. A person in S1, State 1, selling to a person in State 1. CGST, SGST is applicable. A person in S2 selling to a person in S2. CGST, SGST is applicable. A person in UT1 selling to a person in UT1. CGST, UTGST is applicable because it is union territory. I hope this is crystal clear now. This should be crystal clear. Okay, now we will come back to this point of Pushpa, Rocky and Animal. There is one Pushpa, there is one Rocky, there is one Animal. So now Pushpa sold wooden TV to Rocky and Rocky paid 20,000 plus 2,000, 22,000, total 22,000. He paid 2,000 as GST now. He paid 2,000 as GST. Now Rocky sold the same TV to Ranbir Kapoor, an animal, for 40,000 rupees. So in that 40,000 ke liye 4,000 added. So totally what is this? Value of supply. This is also value of supply. What is this? This is GST. Here also this is GST. Now what has happened here? He has already paid, Rocky already paid 2,000 to the government. So actually how much Rocky paid? 20,000 plus 2,000, 22,000 rupees to the Pushpa. Pushpa will pay this GST to the government. On whose behalf? Pushpa will pay this to the government on behalf of Rocky. Hai na? Pushpa will pay this to the government on behalf of Rocky. So that means Rocky already paid 2,000 to the government. Burden was on Rocky, no. Rocky already paid 2,000 rupees to the government. Pushpa did not pay it from his pocket, Baba. Rocky paid it from his pocket to Pushpa. Pushpa just diverted this to the government. So that 2,000 is paid by Rocky. Next one. Rocky gave this, sold this wooden TV to Ranbir Kapoor for 40,000 and he did collect 4,000. Now GST, ultimately the burden should be on whom? Final consumer. Final consumer. Ranbir Kapoor had to pay that 4,000 to the government. Ranbir Kapoor paid 4,000 to the seller, but don't you think seller already paid 2,000 to the government? Correct? No. Rocky already paid 2,000, no. For which he will get one credit called as input tax credit. Now Rocky will get the credit called as input tax credit. So the burden of Ranbir Kapoor is 4,000 that was collected by Rocky Bhai. Rocky Bhai already paid 2,000 to the Pushpa and Pushpa paid it to the government. So Rocky already paid 2,000, no. So out of 4,000 he will deduct 2,000 which he already paid. Totally he will pay 2,000 extra to the government. He will pay 2,000 to the government now. So now you tell me what is the total income of the government? 2,000 paid by Rocky Bhai and that was paid by Pushpa. So 2,000 from Pushpa's side and 2,000 from Rocky's side. Government got 4,000. Actually this 4,000 is paid by whom? Ranbir Kapoor. Ranbir Kapoor gave this 4,000 to Rocky Bhai. Rocky Bhai, he did adjust that 2,000 rupees which he already paid to Pushpa. Pushpa paid it to the government. So that 2,000 is gone. Other 2,000 Rocky Bhai, who has collected this from Ranbir Kapoor, he will pay this to the government. Total government income is 4,000. That 4,000 is the total government ka income. Correct? No. Government income is 4,000 and that 4,000 is paid by Ranbir Kapoor and Rocky Bhai's income is from 40,000. He already paid 20,000 to Pushpa. His income is 20,000. Rocky Bhai's income is 20,000. Pushpa's income is 20,000. Correct? No. Pushpa collected 22,000. Out of that 2,000 he paid as GST to the government. So Pushpa is having only 20,000 now because 2,000 he paid to the government. Rocky Bhai, he already paid 22,000 rupees, correct? No, 22,000. See, look at the cash book of Rocky Bhai. Where to do it, yaar? I'll do it here. I'll just rub all this rubbish. So what has happened in Rocky Bhai's ka case? Okay, what has happened in Rocky Bhai's ka case? Rocky Bhai ka case mein, he paid 22,000 rupees to Pushpa. He paid 22,000 rupees to Pushpa, and this Rocky Bhai, no, he collected 44,000 rupees from Ranbir Kapoor. He collected from RK 44,000 rupees and he paid 22,000 rupees. Out of 44,000, see now if you adjust this, see 22,000 is gone, 44,000 has come. I got 44,000, I paid 22,000. What is the difference? 22,000, correct? No. 22,000 is the income of Rocky Bhai? No. Why? Because he paid this 2,000 to the government, no? He paid this 2,000 minus 2,000 which paid to the government. So ultimately he is left with 20,000. What is this 20,000, sir? Profit. Correct? No, here look at this. Rocky Bhai purchased it for 20,000. He sold this for 40,000. What is this now? This is the profit which was done by the Rocky Bhai. See, 20,000, he purchased it for 20,000. He sold it for 40,000. The difference is 20,000. That 20,000 is given here. See, that 20,000 is here. So what we were discussing here, that is ITC. See, less 2,000 rupees which is done, no, that is ITC, input tax credit. So you will get input tax credit. I hope this is clear. Clear, no, everyone? Okay. If you are not clear with this, you have to listen to this point again. Rewind, listen and go forward. Rewind it, listen to it and come forward. Okay. Yes. See, this is nothing but direct tax. You cannot shift the burden. In case of direct tax, no, you cannot shift the burden. But in case of indirect tax, you can shift the burden. What Rocky Bhai has done now? Rocky Bhai did shift his burden to animal, Ranbir Kapoor. Rocky Bhai did shift his burden to Ranbir Kapoor. Pushpa did shift his burden to Rocky Bhai. See, Pushpa shifted burden to Rocky Bhai. Rocky Bhai did shift burden to the Ranbir Kapoor. So this is what the issue can be shifted in case of indirect tax. You can shift it, but here you cannot shift. People, I hope ITC is clear. There is a chapter on ITC. We are going to discuss about that in detail, but right now this is what required. This is clear, no? Next one, event. In case of direct tax, what is the event? What is the meaning of event on which you will put the tax? The event is that transaction on which there is tax, taxable income of the SSE. If you are getting some income, that itself is taxable event. But in case of indirect tax, supply of goods and services is the taxable event. Supply, I told you supply is one of the important term here. Keep that in mind. Supply is very important one. Okay, this is the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. So I think we are taking the class for 1 hour 44 minutes. So we will do one thing. We'll discuss about these points in next class. Okay. Constitutional validity is there. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll take a break. And you also take break. Later we will continue with this. In next video we are going to continue with this point. Very important one. These points are important one. So what I will do now, this will be your work. Constitutional validity of GST, that will be your work. Somewhere in the end of the syllabus, we are going to discuss about this constitutional validity, not so important one, which is about history of GST, that is being discussed there. So we will discuss about this topic in the end of our classes. Okay, so this right now, this is your homework, just like a story you have to study. We will discuss about this in the next video and we will go to the next topic. Okay, till then take one rest, not too much rest. Too much rest is rust, you know this, right? So people, please do watch the next video immediately after taking somewhere 15 to 20 minutes break. Let's take a break. It's not working.